I have to say, this part of JoJo is an absolute blast, an absolute treat, and just some of the weirdest shit I've seen in JoJo, and I know it's only ever gonna get weirder as the arcs go on, as the parts go on, but to see a dance-off after basically decapitating a body, the head is just sitting there freaked as can be, and you have a dance-off with some surrealist imagery, all these weird flashes of colors and just styles of art. That was the best thing I've ever seen in JoJo. Holy hell. I know some people were hyping up some stuff in this episode, but I wasn't sure what to expect. I never really do with JoJo. That had me dying. I actually rewound the episode and replayed that dance-off because unless you read the manga, there's no way you saw a dance-off coming after literally a head's just sitting there and they're like putting fish hooks through his eyelids. Like, this series is absolutely bonkers and I love it. I love it so very much. And you can really tell they are gangsters because of just the torture that they put this guy through. Of course, he's despicable. We don't want to root for him, but man, I was actually being like, okay, maybe we are going a little too far, putting fish hooks through his eyes and just, man, he's already lost his body. You're smacking him around. Maybe we can just like leave him be for a little bit there. But I mean, obviously they need the money. They're not going to stop. They're not going to care about some other gangster. Like, I do like it. It's just, it really does pushes the boundaries that you're like, man, these actually, even though they're goofy, even though they have their dance-offs, they definitely are thugs in their own way, and they will push people if they do try anything against them, and I love that so much. This episode, holy hell, JoJo is 7 weeks in, and I have zero faults with this part so far. There is nothing I dislike about this part of JoJo. The art is consistent, the animation is so JoJo, the poses, the ridiculous over-the-top shots, and just the way they direct these scenes. The characters are 100% likable. The stands are the most unique I've seen in JoJo. This week's stand, Mr. Stand, was absolutely a treat, and I'll be 100% honest, I had my doubts at first. I was like, a gun stand that can talk, I was like, that's not gonna be that interesting. A gun with 6 bullets, how interesting can that be? I'll be 100% honest. I mean, the fact that we have a guy who takes a lunch break in the middle of a mission to feed his stand, and his stand not only can shoot, but it actually controls the redirection of the bullet, so even if he misses his shot, the stand will redirect the bullet to wherever the user wants it to go, which is incredibly useful. If you're going to be in a gang and you have a gun that can essentially go wherever you tell it, obviously I expect there's going to be some form of limitation there, but I'm going to assume it's probably going to be something along the lines he has to first see his target, so even if he gets blinded after he shoots, it will still go to him. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of limitations, but then again, it is JoJo. They can have no limitations and still find a way to make it weak in comparison to another overpowered stand, but I do like it. I do like how they are directing this. I mean, how they eventually get on the island, because Giorno is a man who, like Dio, can just strike the charisma. He can make people believe in his dream, and it's nice to see what would happen to a character like Dio if he was put on a more righteous path, because holy hell, Giorno just has the charisma of a goddamn angel, and people want to follow him. Even though Leon still doesn't trust him with showing him his stand, he just strikes that balance of like, you want to follow the man's dream, you want to help him achieve whatever the hell he's focusing on, and I just love the creativity in this episode. I mean, the fact that you literally do start off with a dance scene, which you apply this situation to any other series that isn't JoJo, you're gonna think, this is a gang anime, like, why are we watching a dance scene? But because JoJo is so stylistic, how it's able to mesh these ideas into a story that just doesn't belong together and make it feel so creative and entertaining. Like, honestly, this could have just been a 20-minute music video, and I would have been singing praise, because that was the most entertaining dance scene I think I've ever seen in anime, because it was so unexpected. I love the creativity behind the stands. Once again, like I mentioned, that gun, it started off because really when I see a gun stand, I'm like, well, I mean, anyone can make a revolver stand. What's so interesting about that? And though the idea of controlling the bullets and where it goes isn't, I would say, the most creative stand I've seen, it's the idea of the talking and the kind of individual personalities between the 6 bullets, and I think that will lead to some pretty interesting scenes. Obviously, we got a pretty large cast, so it's not just going to be Mr. Stand, but I do like the idea that there is some actual personality, like 6 personalities behind this stand, and it's going to be interesting to see how that relates in different arcs, how he'll have to feed his little companions, or how he'll have to do just little things like that. It's going to be very fun, especially because we still haven't seen everyone's stand yet. This part is really unique, and like I mentioned last week, I'm glad that it's not just in-your-face stands, punch people away. The harder you punch, the easier it's going to be for you in a battle. I like how there are these stands that can rewind the past and show you what happened. You have a gun that can kind of target their people, so no matter how far they run, they're going to get shot. You have a stand that can turn things into other living matter. Like, there's just so much originality in this part, and the voice acting, I really think this is my favorite voice acting performance in JoJo, because there's so many unique performances, there's so many fluctuations that you'll hear in these characters' voices, that you really believe that these are actors in a booth just having an absolute blast with this. This is one of those anime where I would never want to hear a dub for this part because I love the voice acting so much. It is an absolute treat to watch. Like, I really wasn't sure what to expect with this episode, especially with how it was starting off, but actually how much it felt like JoJo, but it felt like a completely different JoJo all at the same time, because you're seeing all these different ideas come to fruition, which you've never seen in a different JoJo part before, but somehow it feels so comfy, so familiar, but it honestly feels like a completely new product all at the same time. JoJo, I'm surprised, like, if it's going to be next part or the part after, there's going to be a part where I'm not so thrilled, that it's not going to be as perfect for me, but this gang story, this creativity, the imagery, just the directing, I'm surprised. I would have expected by this point there would be some dips here or there with just the visuals, but so far, we're halfway through the first core and it's been goddamn beautiful. This part is just, it makes me so happy, it makes me have fun, and I love the idea that you just have all these stand names that are based off bands that I really like, so it's such a treat to see. Obviously, you can't have the official names in the actual official subtitles on places like Crunchyroll because of copyright, sadly, but I know what they are. I mean, you can hear what they're saying in the Japanese dub, so I just love how there's all these rock and metal bands and just all these artists that I actually enjoy, and I'm just like, wow, if they ever had a stand, I'm so glad it's this. It's an absolute treat. This was such a fun episode. I'm just really excited to see, like, once Bruno becomes a capo, like, where will it go from there? Because once, I mean, I feel like it has to happen. I feel like they have to get the treasure. There will probably be a couple more obstacles that they'll have to face, but once they rise to capo, where's it going to go from there? And that's the exciting thing, because right now, I think the series is perfect, but I know it's just getting started, and that's what makes it so exciting. A phenomenal episode. Might be my favorite episode right now, just because of that dance-off. So funny, so unexpected, such an entertaining episode, such an entertaining arc. Let me know whatever you're thinking down in that comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate your favorite moment? It better be that dance-off. Please, please be the dance-off, because that's just the best thing ever. Let me know whatever you're feeling, and be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.